iNews Views, April 5th. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. John C. Maxwell. The man accused of stabbing U.S. Ambassador Mark Lippert last month has been charged with attempted murder. Ki-jung Kim has also been charged with assaulting a foreign envoy and obstruction of business. Mr. Kim has a history of unpredictable behavior and had previously been sentenced to 2 years in prison for throwing a piece of concrete at a Japanese ambassador to South Korea. According to South Korean law, the trial must begin within 14 days of the indictment. Despite the numerous TV cooking shows and cooking classes, South Koreans spend only 3.7 hours per week cooking, the world's least amount of time in the kitchen. Indians spend 13.2 hours per week preparing food, while the French spend a surprisingly paltry 5.5 hours per week. Convenient food delivery and a culture that enjoys eating out a lot during long working hours are the main reasons for Koreans not spending so much time cooking. Italians reported a strong passion for cooking, while only 13% of Koreans said they enjoyed cooking, and the same low percentage of Koreans reported they had enough experience and knowledge about cooking and food. The global averages were 32% and 29% respectively. Last year, South Korea's LG, the world's number 6 smartphone maker, released a series of phones called AKA, saying they were phones with a personality. These are available in 4 colors with pairs of animated eyes that blink and wink as the user interacts with the phone. This marks a departure from normal business practices and indicates LG's attempt to improve its stock price by moving in a new marketing direction. Exports to Hong Kong, China, Taiwan, Turkey, Thailand, and Singapore are expected in the next month. Yellow dust from China has increased the concentration of fine dust particles to a record high. The average concentration of these lung-damaging particles in March was 66 micrograms per cubic meter, compared to 56 micrograms per cubic meter last year. This March, Korea suffered 5.6 days of sandstorms from China, compared to an average of 1.8 days in previous years. Seoul received only 20% of the average 47.2 millimeters of rain in March, a very dry and dusty month. Labor groups in Korea are demanding a drastic hike in the minimum wage from 5,580 Korean won to 10,000 won. A government committee is evaluating the demands for a monthly minimum wage of at least 2.09 million Korean won to maintain a basic living standards. A final decision on this matter will be made in August this year after determining the feasibility of such an increase and the effects on companies doing business here. Singaporeans are falling in love with sweet, cool Korean desserts like popping su, a bowl of shaved ice topped with red beans, rice cake, small pieces of sweet potatoes, and evaporated milk. The origin of this dessert may be from the Joseon dynasty, where ice was stored in a warehouse called a bingo. Joseon kings would serve ice to military officials who would then crush and mix it with fruit. Another popular dessert item in Singapore is J-cone ice cream. A newspaper in Singapore suspects even more dessert cafes and a wider variety of desserts to be offered in the future. According to many cafe and restaurant owners, the Korean dessert craze is taking Singapore by storm.